Starting over here, we're going to have at the top the menus. For example, scene, you can save your project over here. Pardon me, the scene that you're working on. You can see your project settings, see the help, your version, just like in any other program. This is the first part. Then we have, for example, these little tags at the top. This is to switch between 2D and 3D view, and also to check your script of the node that you are working on. Here we have the asset lib. This is for when you download assets from the Godot library. I don't use this very much, but yes, it's over here. Yes. Then, for example, to the top right, we have these little buttons over here. These are going to be for for when you want to run a test of your game. For example, this one is to run your main screen, your main menu, and then to pause it, to stop it, to do remote debug, to run a specific scene, the one that you're working on, or for example to run a scene from the file explorer. Okay, and then also movie making mode, because you can also make movies on Godot with this mode over here. So yeah, well, this is the top part, and over here we have some similar elements like to Unity. Okay, this is like a hole over here. Let me go back to the menu. Yeah, so you have, for example, this tree over here. This is called a family tree. This is the equivalent to Unity to the hierarchy. This is where you have all the elements of your scene. For example, I have the root node, which is the level that I have over here on the screen. I have the environment, I have the world, I have the player, my GUI, yes, my lights, everything is over here in this part over here. This is where I control everything that I'm working on. And the way that Godot works is by using nodes. This is, for example, every element over here that you see listed over here is a node. And the way that it works is that it's like the Windows says over here. It's a family tree. So you're going to have nodes that are children of others. For example, in this case, I have this node over here. This is like if it was a bullet point or a folder that says interactable. So over here I have all my chests, the holes in the walls that the character can explore, things that the character can interact with. It's okay. And these nodes that I have inside them other nodes. Okay, so this is how we're gonna work in Godot. So for example, let's see. Yes, let's see. Okay, in a second we're going to make a sample of this in action. But yeah, for now we're going to just check the interface. Below over here we have the file explorer. Okay, Unity, for example, works with packages, but in this case, on Godot you can work with files directly. Like if you would work in File Explorer in Windows. Okay, hey, Glassel, nice to see you. Hey. Oh yes. Faces are. Oh, okay, Glassel, thank you. Let me check this over here. Okay, so let me check here. Okay, yeah, so this is like if it was a game. Oh yeah, so you tell me it's screen capture, okay. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm sharing I'm sharing my screen over here, but let me see why. Let me just take a zoom over here. Okay, and let me pass to this side. Yes, okay, that should work. Yes, okay. So yeah, that was it. Yes, so thank you, Glasgow, for for the tip over here. Yes, so I hope this works now. Okay, so yeah, we have this interface over here. This is for the files. So you can have, for example, your folders for animations, for your enemies, your models, your environments. If you have fonts, if you have scenes that are, for example, UI, or if they are as your items, your item database, everything like that. You have it over here. Okay. So yes, this is a file system. Then we have the main menu, the main window over here, where we see the player, we see this level over here. This is what you're going to work with most of the time. You can see over here that we have these little tabs at the top. Yes, these are for switching between scenes, and also in this plus sign, you can. This is how you make a new scene. I'm going to show you what a scene is and what is the difference between a scene and a node. Okay. So yeah, something quick over here. If you see these buttons at the top, this is for the gizmos, for when you move objects or you want to rotate them or scale them or do anything like that. Here are different options, like in any other any other program. For example, you can move. Let's choose a player over here. So for example, you have the option to move over here. You can rotate it, or you can also scale it. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but yeah. So yeah, you can use that, or you can have the three options at once. Here. Okay. Then you have the option to, if you have different nodes in a same point, you can select them over here. You can have a list. You can lock them. You can lock the children of the node that you're working on. Yes, and some other options over here. You can snap, like in Blender, where you have a base measurement, and you move things based on one by ones or anything like that. Yes, we're going to see this in a second over here. These options, because these are for the environment. For example, the sky colors, the lighting, stuff like that. Okay, and all these other options to the viewports and so on, right? So yeah, this is not very useful right now. So we're going to let's skip over here. Yes, if you see also there's these arrows at the top. This is to expand the view. Okay, and well, that's all for this part over here. Below, guys, we're going to have this other panel. Okay, in here we're going to have the output tab. This is, for example, if we make a print of in our code, we want to find out a message that we want to see, or we want to check the errors. For example, I have over here 49 errors. Yes, you can check them on the side on output. Then we have the debugger. Okay, this part is for checking your performance. For example, if you have you want to check your RAM, you want to check your FPS of your game. That's how you check it over here. For example, you have FPS and you have a little graph. Okay, and this is for multiplayer and so on. So this is the debugger. So results, if you search something in the file system. The audio panel, this is for when you have different buses for the audio. For example, if you have a layer for sound effects, for music, and so on, you have them over here. Animation, this is going to be very important for when you manage the animations of your characters. Or for example, if you have a panel and you want it to show to appear, you can animate over here. And this is the shader editor. This is for when you're working with shaders and all that stuff. And we also have an option to expand it. Okay. Yes, and over here, finally, guys, to the right, we have this inspector panel. This is like in Unity. You check the properties of your objects. For example, the position, the size, any special properties that you need to check. You can check them over here. And also, guys, for example, there's a difference between Unity and other platforms. We also have the ability to make signals. Okay, so let's say that you want two nodes to communicate, or two objects to communicate. You can make them send and receive signals between each other. Okay, so that it's a bit more efficient to work between nodes. Okay, and also you can make groups. We're going to check that in a moment ahead. History. We're not going to use this. Okay. So now, guys, we're going to start with we're going to make a new scene, a new project, so that we can make a little character. Okay, we're going to make a little scene with a character that we can move, that can jump. Yeah, we're going to see how much we go with that. So let me over here. Yes, okay. So we have, as soon as we open Godot, we're going to have this window over here. Let me close this one behind. I want to say don't save. Okay, so we're going to have, guys, this window over here when we open Godot. In your case, if you have Godot just installed, you're not going to have any project over here. Okay, we're going to have to click over here, new project. Okay, and we're going to call this, let's say, for example, yes, intro to Godot. Just as an example over here. You can choose the route of your how do you call it, your project. Okay, I'm going to choose over here. I'm going to close the window for a second because I'm going to show my files. Okay, but before that, we have over here below. We have the option for the renderer. Okay, this is going to be important because depending on our type of game, we have to choose the renderer type. Okay, if we choose Forward Plus, this is going to use Vulkan. Okay, so that is for 3D games, games with advanced graphics. If you use this is only for desktop games. And if you have complex stuff in your game, this is the better option. Okay, we also have mobile, like it says, it's for mobile games, and also compatibility. This is for when you use OpenGL. Okay, OpenGL is for browser games, for also mobile games, but this is for low-end projects over here. Yes, if you want to make a game like, for example, Mega Man Legends, you want to make a Breath of the Wild, something like that, you can use Forward Plus over here. Okay, let me just save this project here. Second. Okay. Just give me a second over here. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to save this project over here. Okay. Yes, okay, so now we're going to start with our Godot project. This is our new file that we made. Okay, and immediately we have this screen over here. Okay, this is all blank. We don't have anything on the scene. So this tutorial is going to be for Godot 3D. So we're going to start with a 3D scene. Okay. First, we're going to make a little world. Okay. We need to give this little game that we're going to make a floor. So we're going to choose over here in this menu to make a root node. We're going to use this node that says 3D scene. Okay. These nodes, guys, these nodes that are called node 3D, these are useful because these are like empty nodes. Okay, you can use them for many things, to organize your project, to for many things. But in this case, it's an empty pointing space. Okay, and this empty pointing space is going to contain a mesh instance. Let me show you that again because I did it too fast. Yeah, so over here, I'm going to click over here on Add Child Node. Okay. Yes, and we can search over here at the top. We can put mesh instance. Okay. So yes, a mesh instance, guys, is just like it says, it's a mesh. It's a geometry, like something you make in Blender, something you make in any program. It's what we're going to have over here. But in this case, we can make a mesh directly from the engine. Okay, so we have different. We have a set of options over here. For example, we have a box mesh, a capsule mesh, a cylinder. We have the basic forms. Okay, so we're going to choose for this case a plane mesh. Okay, so we have over here a new plane mesh. This is the option that we chose. Yes, and we're going to change the size of this plane. So we have, for example, size over here. I'm going to choose 25, 125. Okay. So here, guys, we have our little floor. Okay, but in this case, it's just a mesh. If we put our player right here, it's going to fall through. So we need to change this over here. Okay, so over here we have this option that says mesh. Yes, and we choose the option create dry mesh static body. Okay, so what we did over here, guys, is that we gave a collision shape, or we gave yes, we're going to see later that there's different types of bodies in video games. Okay, for example, there's kinematic bodies, there's rigid bodies, and in this case, it's a static body. Okay, that is for an object that isn't going to move. Okay, so this static body has a collision shape. Okay, collision shapes, what they do is that they tell the engine what is the shape physically of this object, and it's used for telling the game yes, how the object is going to collide with others. So for example, if you roll a ball on this floor, this is how it's going to detect that yes, there's a floor, that there's a solid object. Okay, so yeah, that's not my dog, sorry about that. So let's see over here. Yes, okay. So with this we have our floor ready. Okay. Yes, we're going to pass over here to the static body, and we're going to click over here on collision. Okay. In this collision menu, you have yes, you're going to have different layers. So for example, if you have a layer for the player, you have a layer for the environment, for chests, for items, and so on. You can decide what this floor is going to collide with. Okay, so for example, we have this title over here. It says layer, and we have over here mask. Okay, layer is going to tell the game which collision layer this object is. Okay, layer is pardon me. It's always going to be where I am. This is where I am, the layer. And the mask is going to be which objects do I interact with. Okay, that is a mask. So layer is where I am, and mask is who I collide with. Okay, so let's say that this is the environment. So we're going to put it in number 2. Yes, and I collide with a player, which we're going to, for now, put number 1. Okay. So we can rename this node over here. We make double click. We say floor. Okay. And this one over here, we can also change it. Say world. Okay. So now, guys, we're going to make we're going to make our player. Okay. So for that, we're going to also click over here on the plus sign. Okay, and we're going to add a character body. Okay, so a character body, guys, is like we said before, there's different types of bodies. A character body is an object that only moves when you add input to the game. For example, if you press a key, if you you have an animation or something like that, that is the only point that is going to move. Okay, so we're going to make our player over here. Okay, so we're going to, okay, I know a better way to do this, so I can show you something else. Yes, I want to erase this here. Yes, we're going to click, guys, better over here at the top, add a new scene. Okay, and we're going to choose other node and character body. Okay, so what we just did, guys, is we did a new scene. Okay, so the way that Godot works is that we can import scenes onto scenes. Okay, so for example, over here we have our world. This is our world scene, and we're going to make our player. Okay, we can move our player to the world scene just by dragging it. We're going to see in a second. So over here we have our character body. This is empty. We're going to add a mesh instance. So let's say that you have your character model. Okay, this would be the mesh instance. So we're going to choose over here on mesh. We're going to choose capsule mesh over here. We're going to leave the default measurements. Okay, and I'm going to click over here on C on the gizmo. Okay, to see this on the side. Yes, and we're going to click over here on the arrow, green arrow, and we're going to lift it a little bit more so that it's not right on the floor, the half. Yes, or also, guys, we can go over here in this vector. We scroll down over here where it says transform. Okay, and over here at Y, we write 1. If we want to be more precise, that's okay. Also, I want to add another model, another mesh over here. I want to move it a little bit on the axis over here to the top. Okay, this is going to be, let's say, a prism mesh. Okay, here. So yeah, you can move the screen with the middle mouse button like this. You can move the view. Okay, so I want to rotate it using this little ring over here, this green ring, and I want to go over here the measurements. Okay, yeah, over here where it says mesh, you click on the picture over here. Okay, and then where it says size, you can change the measurements. So I'm going to choose 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. A little less. Okay. Yes, okay. So this is like a little bird. This is going to be like the beak. Okay. For now, this is going to be useful. Okay, to tell us which is the front of our character. Okay. So yeah, we have the mesh done here. If you see, guys, there's a warning sign over here. Okay. So it's if we click on the icon over here, it says that this node has no shape. It can collide or interact with other objects. Okay, so it advises us to add a collision shape or a collision polygon. Okay, like we did before with the floor. Okay, so yeah, if we put this player onto the world, it's not going to do anything. So we need to have a collision body. Okay, so we click over here, plus icon, and we go over here to the top and we search collision shape. Okay, if you see, we have another warning over here. Okay, so it's over here. Yes, a shape must be provided for this collision shape. Okay, so we click here. So we go to the part that says shape. Yes, and we're going to choose another capsule. Okay, yes, and if we see it's in the same position as before, okay, but it's going to have the same measurements as the body we made over here. Okay, so we're just going to raise it to the top a bit. Okay, so for example over here, we're going to just write 1 on the y-axis, and it's over here. Okay. So what we did over here is that we gave the body a physical shape. Okay, it's going to tell the game how to collide. Okay, so normally for players, this is the most common shape that we use, a capsule, because it's more or less the shape of a human body. Okay, it's also when you make a hitbox, this is a common shape. Let me check over here something. Okay, sorry. Open my Discord over here. Yes. Okay. So now, guys, we're going to do the thing we said before, where we can nest our scenes. So before we do that, we need to save each one that we have over here. So we right click on the tab of each one over here, and we say save scene as. Okay, yes, and we're going to have our main folder. Okay, we need to make so folders so that we don't have everything just all together. We're going to write over here. This one is going to be world. Okay, or levels. You can name it any way you want. Yes, and we have world, so we're going to save. Yes, and then we have the player. We save it over here. We go above, over here with this arrow. Let's create folder, we say player. Okay. So in this case, we change this over here and call it player. Okay. So we can also change the names of these. We don't need to have the name that it has by default. So we're going to name this player. This one is going to be the mesh. Yes, if we have different parts that we want to we want to denominate in a different way, we can say, for example, beak over here. If you have a gun, you have a weapon, you have anything like that, you can also do that in that way. Okay. And if you see, guys, for example, if I rotate this character body, okay, it's going to rotate everything with it, just the same as if I rotate the mesh. Okay, this is because everything is nested by parenting. Okay, so a node that is a child of another one is going to inherit the position of the parent. So it's like a, if this beak is at the front over here, and the body rotates, it's going to rotate with just with the head completely, right? So it's something important to just to check, right? Yes, okay, so let's see, let's put over here save, and let's go back to our world. Yes, okay, so now we're going to move our player into the world. So we go to the folder player. Yes, and we drag and drop. It's okay. We can drag and drop on the screen, on the main panel. Okay, or we can also drag and drop to the tree. And it's going to be the same. It's going to drop it at the origin. Okay. Yeah, so we have this player over here. So right now, if we run the scene, we don't have any. Let me show you over here. We're going to click this play button, and we have this message over here. We have to select the main scene, which is our main menu, which is our the thing that runs when we run the game. So for now, we're going to select current. Okay. Yes, and if we see, guys, we have a gray screen. We don't have anything. Okay, this scene appears empty. Okay, the reason is because we don't have a we don't have a camera. So we need to add a camera for the game to be able to see what's going on. So let me show you over here. Yes, there's two ways that you can do this. You can put the camera as part of your player, like we did with the beak. Okay, so that way it follows the player. Okay, or you can make it aside over here in the world. So let's say you have a camera over here. Okay, camera 3D. Yes, and you can make it follow the player by code. That is another way in which other projects do that. In my case, I make it I put it nested into the player. Okay, so we're going to do it that way for now. So so yes, we go back to the player, and over here we're going to add a child. Okay, we're going to add a node 3D. Okay, and we're going to call it cam base. Okay, so as we saw before, yes, a node 3D is an empty pointing space. Okay, so this is going to help us to so yes, if we have nodes that are child of this pointing space, we can move them. Okay, all together. So we're going to add over here camera 3D. Okay. Yes, and for example, if we click on the camera, we're going to have different options over here. We're going to select current. Okay, so this is how we tell the game that this is a camera that is going to be active. We save the scene. Okay, let's go back to the world. If you want to check the nodes that you added, you modified a node, and you want to check it in the main scene, you can click over here, right click, and you can click on editable children. Okay, and this way you can see that the children of another scene into this in this family tree. Okay, for now we're going to deactivate this over here. We can see that we have our cam base, our camera. Okay, so let's try to run the game. Okay, so it's still gray. So our camera is still gray. Let's see why. Okay, the reason, guys, why we don't have any image over here in the camera is because we don't have yes, we don't have an environment set up. So we are going to go over here to these options we saw before, to the little globe. No, pardon me, to the three dots over here. Okay. Yes, and we're going to have this new menu, this new panel that comes up. So we have, for example, a preview of the sun. If we have a sunlight, the altitude, the azimuth, the color of the light, also the energy, yes, how strong it should be. Yes, and we have this part over here that says sky color and ground color. If you notice, these are similar to the ones that we have at the background. Okay, these ones over here. We have this gray and we have this brown at the bottom. Yes, okay, we're gonna change that in a second. Okay, so in this case, I want to, yes, let's say I want to make a beach environment. Okay, so I'm going to make the sky blue, and the ground is going to be blue as well. Okay. Okay. Yes, I can also adjust, for example, how strong the energy of the skylight can be. Okay. I can move this over here. I'm going to choose one for now. Okay. Yes, and over here below we have different options. For example, AO. This is for image occlusion. Okay, this tells the engine to form little shadows in the creases of objects. Yes, we have glow. This is for the bloom effect. We have the tone map. This is if you choose, for example, ACES, linear, anything like that. Yes, and then GI. Yes, I'm going to check what this is in a second over here. Okay. So now that we have our colors set up, we click over here on Add Environment to Scene. Yes. Okay. So now we see on the family tree that we have this new node that is called World Environment. Okay, so we click on it. We have this menu over here, this environment. We click on it and we have more options. Okay. So background, we can choose a sky like we have over here, or we can have a solid color, canvas, which is a picture. We can have a camera feed. For example, if you have a camera in the game and you have like a sky or something like that, you can have an animated background. Okay. And also, pardon me, this is the energy of the sky. And also, if you have a sky, you can modify how you want it. The colors that we changed, the colors of the ground, the sun, the angles, everything like that. Okay. Also, if you have an ambient light, you can change that over here as well. The tone map, this is going to be for the configuration of the colors. Okay. SSR for reflections, SSIO, we saw that before. This one is for space indirect lighting effect. This is for when you have lights, more definite lights. In my case, I work with low poly, so I don't use it very much. Yes, and also we have this option that's called fog. Okay, so if you play games like, for example, Mega Man Legends or Breath of the Wild, you see that at a distance you see this fog, this environment, the environment fog. You can have it over here as well. Yes, you can make it like that, or you can make it volumetric. Okay. So yeah, so we have our environment, we have our camera. Let me just check over here on the player. Okay. Yes, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to move this camera a bit more. We're going to move it to the top and a little bit back. Okay, and we're going to go back over here. We're going to save, and we're going to go back to the world. Okay, so now we're going to run our game. Yes, okay. So now we can see our game. Now we can see our scene over here with the player, the floor, the sky, everything over here. Okay, but we see a problem over here as well, that the beak is not at the front. It's okay. I'm going to check that in a second. Um, yes, okay. If you want to stop the game, the running game, you can do two things. You can close over here on the edge. Okay. Yes, or preferably you can click on the stop button. Okay, that is much better for when you have if it freezes, if you're checking your code and you have an error, something like that, you can stop it over here with a square. Okay, so let me come with the player and oh yes, sorry guys, I moved this over here to the side. Let me yes. If you move, for example, something in a position that you don't want, and you want to reset it to the defaults, you can go over here and transform and reset the position over here. Okay. I probably made the beak in a different position, so I want to rotate it here for now. Yes, okay, so let's see over here. Yes, so now we're going to move our camera to the proper position. Okay, it should be fine. Save. Go back to the world. Yes, okay. So now it's fine. It's facing the back of the player. Okay. So this is a third-person perspective game. Okay. Yeah. So you can also make a first-person game where you have yes, the player is a camera. You can also do it that way. In this case, this is because of the game I'm making. This is the configuration that I'm using. Okay, so we're going to close. Yes, okay. So now we're going to oh yes, Glassel. Yes, Glassel, you can make 2D games, you can make 3D games. Yes, and mostly any type of game you want. Yes, yes, you have, for example, over here. Yes, if you see, you have the 2D menu. This is for 2D games. Yes, you can work in 2D or you can work in 3D. So yeah, it has support for both. Yes, the only thing that changes is what we saw first. This over here, forward plus. Okay. Yeah, if you want to make a 2D game, you yeah, so you're not going to need Vulkan, right? So you're not going to need the 3D configuration, right? So you choose, for example, OpenGL, mobile, or something more that's more like that. Okay. Yes, okay, I'm going to drink some water over here. Yes, yes, okay. So also, yes, we need what we need to do now is to yes, we have a very nice floor, a very nice player, but yes, when we run the game, it doesn't do anything. Okay, we just see the camera like static. Okay, so we're going to start to add code. Okay, so we're going to go back to the player. Okay, so the way that we add code to something, okay, to a node, is by clicking on the node. Yes, and I'm renaming it. Yes, and clicking over here. Yes, we click on this button that says attach a new script. Okay. Yes, and we're going to see that for this type of body, for this character body, we have a template. Okay, we're going to use that for now. We have the path over here. Let me check over here. Yes, yes, okay. So we're going to call it player as well. I'm going to leave it like that. Yes, and immediately we have this screen. We have our code over here. Okay, yes. I'm going to show you how to read this in a very general way. Okay, before we're not going to get too much into detail what we're doing over here. Okay. Yes, but the first part that we're going to see is this this part that says extends. Okay, this tells the script what type of object we are coding. Okay, in this case it's a character body 3D. Okay, yes. Then below we're going to have our constants and our variables. Okay, we have to tell the code. Yes, what is the speed? What is the jump velocity? If we have gravity, this is where we tell the we tell the engine. Uh, yes, okay. There's this variable called speed. There's this there's going to be jump velocity. There's going to be gravity, yes, and so on. Or there's another node. Okay. Let's say that I want to to use my animations by code. Okay, and I need to refer to the animation player. I have to put it over here at the top. Okay, so these are our variables over here. Yes, and then we're going to have our functions. Okay, normally you're going to see this one that says func ready. Okay, func ready. I'm going to say pass. Okay, yes, yes. Ready is for example when you start the game. This is the first thing that it's going to do. Okay, for example, connect to this node, print hello world, yes, or anything like that. Okay, yes. I wrote over here pass just so that I don't get an error while we're writing. But I'm going to delete over here. Okay, yes, and yes, we have this one over here that says physics process. Okay, this is for yes, we're going to have two types of process. Okay, this is uh, this is for when you want to call a function. Yes, when you want for something to happen. Okay, so we have two in a generally speaking we have two options. Yes, one is physics process. Okay, that is going to be for jumping, for moving, for bullets, for anything that is physics, like it says on the name. Yes, and we have another one that is called only process. We don't have it over here. Okay, process delta. Okay, yes, process delta is going to be, yes, it's different because this is not, they both, how can I say it? They both update the code, yes, by frames. Okay, so for example, physics process works on a physics frame, which is like a very minuscule fraction of a second. Okay, so it's much faster than process. Yes, process is going to be, for example, for each time you have an updated. Uh, oh, hey, Jaded, thank you for the follow, and also Glassel, thank you for the follow. Yes, yes. So process is going to be, for example, for is how many cups of coffee does this does this engine drink? Yeah, well, it depends. It's not. Yeah, it's quite easy, quite intuitive to use. Yes, I think it's yeah, it's nice to have a cup of coffee with this when you're deving. Yes, but it's alright. Yes, okay. Yes, so yeah, yeah. So process is, for example, when you have, let's say that you have 60 FPS. Uh, that is every 60 frame, every frame, it's going to update this command that you have over here. Okay, so that is process. Okay, so we're going to erase this for a second. That's okay. So what we have over here, guys, in physics process, it's is for example, this over here. It says if not is in floor. Okay, this is like it says over here. If the character is not on the floor, the velocity on the y-axis is going to be negative times or negative equal the gravity by delta. Okay, so delta is going to be the time that passes since you run the game. Okay, yes, and gravity is this variable that we have at the top. Okay, so if what we tell physics process in this case is that, for example, if we are not on the floor, the velocity is going to be negative, so you're going to fall when you are not on the floor. Okay, but for example, if you have an input, okay, if input is action just pressed, in this case UI accept, and you are on the floor, okay, in this case the speed for y is going to be the variable that we have over here. Yes, it's going to be jump velocity, and we're going to jump. Okay. Yes, and on the other hand, we have this part over here that says var input dir. Okay, this is a variable that we're making directly on the function. Okay, it says input get vector. Okay, so for yes, for all the movements that you can have, yes, left, right, up, and down. Yes, it's going to detect like a vector. Okay, where you're moving in these four directions. Yes, and we have also direction. Okay, so transform basis. This is your your transform, your just let's say that it's your geometry spot, your yeah your yeah it's how can I say it? It's like yes, the transform is like yes your the whole position of your node. Okay, that is the transform. Okay, so we have transform basis by vector tree. This is a variable that is going to use 3 dimensions, which is the input on the x-axis by 0, because we don't have on the y. The y is for jumping. Then the y, okay, the input for the y. Yes, all of these normalized. This is a factor that we have to make. Yes, and for example, if direction, okay, what we mean with this over here, if we have a direction, if direction is not 0, okay, what is going to happen is that the speed on the y, the movement on the y is going to be direction on the edge by speed, okay, times the speed, or and the movement on the z-axis is going to be directions on the speed. Okay, if this is a little bit too like math and something like that, it's okay. This is just something brief. Okay, so if you have direction, you move. If you don't have direction, you don't move. That is what we tell over here. And we have this part that says move and slide. Okay, this is like this is incorporated like a function that already exists, which tells the game that you should move and you should slide on slopes. Okay, to save, and we're going to back to the world. I'm going to run this over here. Yes, okay. So if you saw guys, we fell through the world. Okay, let's run this again. So yeah, we passed through the floor. Let's see why that happened. Okay, so we have to go back to our player, and we click over here on collision. So we are on layer 1, and we interact with this. We have to put over here 2. This 2 is the environment. Over here. Yes, okay. So now we have a we have a player that can collide with the floor. Yes, and if we press the arrow keys, it's okay, we can move. Okay. Yes, and if we press space, we can jump. Yes, okay, so we have this over here. Yes, if we fall off the floor, we're going to fall. This is the function that we have for the gravity. Okay. Yes, okay. So yeah, so I think guys with this, yes, we're going to wrap it until here, with this section of the tutorial of how to have an intro to Godot. Yes, yes. Later I want to show you, for example, if you see over here, yes, if you see, we move the mouse or we move our yes, our screen over here. Yes, we cannot rotate the camera still, so we're going to see that in the next part. Okay. Yes, and also how to rotate the player to the camera. We're going to see that next. And yes, yes. So I think for today that will be all. Yes, okay. So thank you guys for coming today to my stream. Yes, I appreciate you that you came and you watched me do this test of the stream. Yes, so yeah, guys, thank you for the follows as well. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Yes, bye, guys. Thank you.